So installing speakers in your door seems really intimidating, but modern cars, it's actually quite convenient. They rarely have more than a few fasteners and some Christmas tree style push pins that hold them in place. With this vehicle, there's legitimately one 7mm screw and the rest of it is pop off. Also, vehicle manufacturers generally give you a place to insert your pry tool to get in and pop that panel off. So they've really lowered the gateway, if you will, to installing upgraded aftermarket speakers. So to get started with ours today, we actually have to pull off the mirror cover. Then inside the door pocket, we have one pop off that we're going to use our pick tool to get, which locates our 7mm screw. Then the rest of it is just you and your buddy, the pry tool here, going around the circumference or the area of the door and popping that off the metal. So here we go. All right, so before you go picking at this top, right, just realize your pick tool is metal and this is plastic. So take a little care because you can mar it up. Now, some door screws are going to be harder to get out than others. This one, I just have the extension on here for good leverage, good reach, but as you've seen, I didn't need the ratchet to loosen the screw at all. All right, so like I was saying before, a lot of manufacturers actually give you a little kind of pocket, if you will, recess that's going to let you get this clip in and lever, you know, act as a lever, right, and pop that door panel out. So ours is up here, kind of in front of the speaker, gets in there. And the first one's actually going to be quite hard, but once you got the first one out, they do get easier. Once you got your panel out, just need to release your electrical connections. So with your door panel off, go ahead and set this to the side. I would recommend that you put it on a carpet or bench, something like that, just to protect the plastic so it doesn't get ruined. So the next step in your adventure here is going to be take another 7mm screw out, and that's the one holding the speaker to the door frame. All right, and like that, you're halfway done. This is your factory speaker out. So now with your speaker out, we actually have a little assembly that's going to be required. We're using a ballistics and a silicone baffle kit on this. So let's go over to the bench, get that assembled, then we'll meet you back here to get that speaker in place. All right, so now that you got your door panels off, we're going to go ahead and assemble our speaker. There's kind of a lot of pieces here that we're doing that are optional, but if all you wanted to do was a standard speaker bracket and a speaker harness, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So what you want to do is rotate that speaker's orientation till you get 4 points of contact. Some speakers only require 3. This one actually has the provisions for 4. For us, we're actually going to be adding a door kit and the silicone baffles as well. So let's break that out. So same principle, this has holes in it, so you're going to want to rotate everything around. So now that you got the baffle lined up, we're going to put it into the speaker ring. Same thing, you need to find your 4 holes. All right, so now what this is going to do is it's going to help seal the ring, protect the speaker, but it's also going to act as a seal so you don't get any rattles once you get this in place. And that's your speaker assembly. So let's take it back to the door. All right, so with that all assembled, I actually had to roll up our window a little bit here to give clearance for putting the baffles on. All right, with that out of the way, one of the big upgrades we're going to be doing for this car is putting a ballistic speaker kit on it. And this doesn't have really any rules to it. If you don't have one of these fancy rollers, you can use the nylon or wood. I've seen guys use the backside of a pry tool to get it into place if you don't have a roller. Obviously the roller is the way professionals are gonna go, but if you don't have it, don't let that stop you from using this product, okay? So what you wanna do is grab it out of the box and edge yourself up. Just give yourself a mental working area, right? You're gonna be from inside of this door, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see where the door sill, or not rather the door sill, but the door panel used to sit. So you wanna be inside of that. And we're gonna be using this area right here to cut all of our ballistics, and you'll see that that line falls on the rest of the door panel here. So now if you're in an air conditioned environment or it's cold weather outside, you can actually use a heat gun to heat this up a little bit, or a hair dryer would work as well. That way you don't have to spend so much time trying to form and find all your paneling. Now to cut this stuff, all you need is a simple razor blade. You can use the cheap ones from your favorite hardware store or anything like that. Just you need a sharp blade to cut this material. All right, so if you want, you can throw this away. We're not going to. We're actually going to put it on inside the door here before we put our foam panel behind it. So you may recall when we took out the factory speaker, there was actually a little screw retainer that we covered up with our ballistics material. So we have to find that now. The easiest way to do that is just use your hand, right? Reach behind it, locate that, and then you're just going to cut that area out. So we were talking about your scrap here, right? Now you could throw this away. You don't have to use this, but we like to, right? We're gonna put it right behind. So now we're done with our ballistics kit. There's a second piece that we've already installed in the driver's door as well. And that is going to be the baffle kit that we showed you while assembling the speaker, the silicone baffle kit. It has an egg crate that goes behind the speaker, and that helps clean up your sound, basically. It's going to get rid of those harmonic frequencies that don't sound great. And to put this in, peel it off, and it's going to go right about the same place that we put that sound deadening material. It's just going to help cancel out those sympathetic vibrations. So what I think we're going to do is we have a very tight tolerance right here with the window of this car. I think probably the best thing to do is we're going to cut this in half so we can accommodate for this ridge right here. Okay, so before you put your speaker in, there's one more thing you got to do, and that's connect it to the audio. So we're going to take our harness, click it in. In this car, there's a red lock. We're going to lock that in. Take your speaker, flip it over, and you'll see that the big one and the little one correspond to the positive and negative of the speaker. You're going to roll it around, get it situated in that hole. And like I said, we do have the ballistics material in place that we cut ourselves. So we may have to clearance a little bit, go back and cut some more. For us, on this particular car, we're just gonna push down so that ballistics material move out of the way, give way, add our screw, and this screw is gonna help put everything and seat it to home. All right, so the latest part of your install is literally just putting the door panel back on. But before you go putting your door panel back on, we do recommend you check the speaker, make sure it is producing sound. Sounds great. So now with that, let's pop our door panel back on. Okay, now with the top in, we can go ahead and secure the rest. And usually just want to hold the door and give it a nice slap. Every once in a while you catch one that slid kind of out of its position. Just use your finger and pop it back in place. And with that, we're done.